When we went through the initial rounds of this Ohio referendum, November seemed to be very far in the future. This is a very humbling reminder of just how fast these years go. All years go, but election years in particular. Set the stakes for me. What is at stake for folks in Ohio on Tuesday?
Well, it's the difference between being able to have access to reproductive health care, abortion specifically, and not. In Ohio, conservative lawmakers have sought to enact 6 weeks abortion bans at a time in which a person wouldn't know that she's pregnant. What's at stake is the ability for doctors to be able to practice medicine and serve their patients without the risk of criminal punishment, civil penalties, or losing their license to practice. In fact, it's worth noting that this was generated initially by doctors who felt that their ethical obligations to their patients were being interfered with by lawmakers who sought to impose these draconian abortion restrictions.
Talk to me then. Let's imagine that we get to Tuesday, that this passes. What is the interplay between the ban that is currently tied up in courts and then this new vote?
Well, if the referenda passes, as we've seen pro-abortion referenda pass whenever they've been on the ballot since the Supreme Court overturned Dobbs, that decision, since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in the Dobbs decision in 2022, what we've seen is that in each state where abortion has been on the ballot, it's been successful, whether we're talking about in the state of Kentucky to keep it off of the Constitution as a ban against abortion, or in Michigan, California, states that would promote abortion being a fundamental right in those states. And what this would mean is that in the state of Ohio, it would become a right ensconced in the state's Constitution. But you ask a really important question because there's been so much misinformation about what this would be. So Republican lawmakers are saying this would be abortion on demand and up until the time in which one would give birth, which is not what's actually behind this referendum, but that's making it so confusing for voters in that state.
Yeah, all of these referendums, they always have an effort to make sure that they are confusing on purpose. I hear optimism in your voice, Michele Goodwin. I also know that all of my favorite guests generally refuse to prognosticate because we all know anything can happen. But as you look forward to Tuesday, are you, in fact, optimistic that this referendum is going to pass?
Well, I am optimistic that it can pass so long as there is clarity in the hands of voters so that they understand what they want, because voters in the state of Ohio have said that overwhelmingly they support reproductive rights and the right to be able to have an abortion. And there are Republicans in the state who are really concerned about what they see as extreme governmental influence and infringement on fundamental rights in that state. So that's really hopeful. But I would say that I am deeply concerned about what these referendum efforts could be in other states where there's tremendous voter suppression. And so we shouldn't lose sight of that. So I'm hopeful about Ohio. At the same time, I think that this is a very important way to reestablish abortion rights. We have to be mindful that there is extreme gerrymandering and voter suppression in other states. Mississippi comes to mind, and some other southern states, where we could draw a Venn diagram and actually see the Confederacy come through anti-abortion legislating.